Have you ever been in a situation where you're delivering a presentation, you're super excited about serving your audience, but the room is quiet, everybody's like this, you're trying to get engagement with the audience, but they don't want to engage at all, and because of that type of feedback, you start making up stories in your mind. Maybe they don't like me, maybe my topic's not important, maybe they don't want me to be here speaking. And because that story you create in your mind, your results end up suffering. Well, if that ever happened to you, I have some great news to share with you. I was just doing a training last month for a group of presenters, and the number one most effective presenter in the room raised his hand and said, Roberto, I'm doing great, my seminars are great, I'm converting, but sometimes when I'm presenting and I'm not getting the feedback, the interaction, I just realize I make a limiting belief about it. My limiting belief is that because of the silence, I believe people don't want to hear my message, that my topic's not important. And what I told him is exactly what I tell you right now. There's three things that could be possibly happening when you're presenting and the room is silence. Number one, please write this down. State. Usually when you have more complex information, or maybe you have a super emotional story, the audience get caught up internally in that state of processing the data, processing the information. So they're not quiet because they don't like you. They're quiet because internally they're processing the data. That's all there is to it. So don't make more than it is. Number two, trait. Now, some people, when you're presenting and you're super excited, for example, let's say you're telling this really powerful emotional story, they may be experiencing and feeling the information. Their nervous system is activated. They actually feel, but they're called internalizers, meaning they feel the information, but they're not able to express through the body language as someone who's very expressive. So even though they're feeling, they're not expressing. So you're reading a body language that's quiet, someone's here, but internally they are feeling. They're just not expressing through their body language. They're called internalizers, that's how they operate. And the third thing, conditioning. Some people, they're conditioned since a very young age to go to a class and be quiet. So when you combine their personal trait of being an internalizer, meaning be able to receive the information, feel the information, but not express back to you. Number two, the social condition that since a very young age, when they're in a classroom, they're supposed to be quiet. And number three, the state that they are in, the state of, hey, I'm just processing the data. When you combine those three elements, the room gets quiet, but has nothing to do with you or your information per se. Now, obviously, sometimes if the presentation is not good or you're saying something wrong, you have to pivot, you have to change, obviously. But a lot of times, everything you're doing is right, and you're not getting the feedback because of those three reasons. Don't speak to inform, speak to transform.